everybody, and welcome to episode 46 of
The Worst Talk Show.
The Absolute Worst Talk Show. I'm Angie C. Some even refer to me as DJ Angie C, and that is handsome boyfriend Dave.
Some even refer to me as Dave.
I haven't DJ'd in a while though, so I'm wondering if that moniker still fits. No, nothing?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll be a DJ again at some point in my life. Or at least I'll come over your house and play some records for you. How does that sound? We are officially live, and who is on the live stream right now? Dun, da, da, da. Just waiting for things to warm up so we can see who's here and who's not. I imagine, Lisa,
my new friend on Facebook.
We got to meet a lot of new friends in person, or at least get some quality hang time at a very special backyard party this weekend, which we will get into as soon as more people show up. Speak of the devil, Sam Avola.
Hey,
the man that threw the greatest backyard party I've been to in years. And it's all true.
It's all true.
Holly Cantor. It's not everybody got invited to the party. I understand that. We were very privileged. We're also very vaccinated, so that was a plus for us. Will Daly performed. Almost the entire band Still Gold was there at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And just fabulous people everywhere. The greatest food, which we will talk about in our food segment later, because the Avolas, Sam and Lisa, really outdid themselves.
Smitty, Vicky Salapande.
Oh, what up, Vicky? So we've got lots of stuff to talk about. Of course, we'll brag on the awesome party this weekend, which we did a little live. We went live. We broadcast live for a few minutes at the party, which I probably should have sent to producer Ethan, and he could play it for those that missed it. But I'm not that organized this week, and frankly, it's only Wednesday, but I'm tired. Are you tired?
Man, they call it hump day. I feel like I've been humped, I'll tell you.
And scene. So we'll definitely talk about Will Daly's performance at the backyard party. That'll be the music segment for sure. Got some other music news and shows. They're all being announced.
Lots of live music's coming, baby.
They're all happening. Nikki T's not going to be here tonight, but I heard everything went really well at her backyard party on Saturday, which was more towards the evening, and had the Von Trapps playing. Is that the name of the band?
I'm not really into that music, like these are a few of my favorite things.
Oh no, not that Von Trapps.
No, really?
Really. This is more like.
I didn't realize that.
No, everything looked good. We were too pooped to pop to make the drive after being at Sam's all day.
Yeah.
That's a polite way of saying we're,
old.
Very old. We were good night fatty wasted is what we were.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So this is also the night we're finally allowed to review the documentary on the band Sparks.
I've totally forgotten the whole thing though. So
we're just going to tell you how good it is,
maybe
and make everybody watch it this weekend. The Von Trapps, as opposed to the Von Erichs, which is a whole different thing. Remember the Von Erichs?
The wrestling family? No.
Yeah, not the WWE. It was what, the WCW? The Von Trapps were from the other wrestling.
The Von Erichs, you mean?
I mean the Von Erichs, sorry. Yeah. But I love the Von Erichs. There was just something about them.
Okay, can we get back to the show?
I am a gay man trapped in a white lady's body, like for sure. Yeah, let's get back to
the Sparks doc.
No, I don't even want to get there. I need to tell everybody first that I survived 33 minutes of punk rock aerobics yesterday with Hilken Mancini. So Hilken and her punk rock aerobics partner started punk rock aerobics back in the 90s, I believe.
I had the book.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
And it was downstairs in the Middle East, I think, is where they held the aerobic, sessions, if you will.
I had the book, and I don't know what happened to it, but I had it.
And I don't know if it took a hiatus or not somewhere along the line, but the pandemic brought it back in full force. And then of course, Green Day co-opted it for their first video from this new record. And so Hilken went like viral crazy. And it was awesome. So at the beginning of the pandemic, I tried the workout. It was like 100 pounds ago, easily. And I lasted 10 minutes before I keeled over and died. The thing that I love about the physicality for me wasn't there yet. And I'm still there are a couple things where I'm like, oh, I can't do that.
Vicky says she's in the book.
Oh, are you? That's awesome.
Well.
Of course you are. So like there are whack jacks, which are like, jumping jacks, except you kind of do this and cross your feet. And, I'm up on the 3rd floor and I was afraid I was going to, bust a hole and fall through it. So instead I just like skanked real fast and that was fine. Anyway, I lasted 33 minutes. I'm wicked excited. Next time, maybe I'll last the whole hour. But if you are looking for an aerobic workout that has, like Bikini Kill songs and Husker Du and Bad Brains and the Ramones, like check out punkrockaerobics.com. So good. Holly Cantor, I never miss an opportunity to socialize. Yeah, she actually double dipped on Saturday. Yeah. And we're so happy she did because it made us feel better about not having.
We sent our emissary.
I felt like we did. We were like, Holly, go and represent all of us.
Bring good tidings from us.
Who are so full and so exhausted that we couldn't possibly make the drive to Stoneham from Salem. So that being said, let's get right into recommendations on stuff to watch. And then we are going to talk music, and then we're going to talk food. And Sam Avola's party is somehow going to just weave through all of this because it touches on kind of everything. So the Spark stock. Now, a lot of you guys are probably huge fans of Sparks. We were not huge fans.
No, I just remember
they
them
were
from,
always around.
I remember Cool Places with Jane Weedland.
That song in Valley Girl, The Monster of Love, is that the name of it?
Yep.
Don't let it get me.
Eaten by the Monster of Love.
Don't let it get me.
And then also Angst in My Pants is the one that made the soundtrack to Valley Girl.
Yep. Well, they were both in the movie.
But the only one made the soundtrack.
Probably, yeah.
No, it is. I have.
Okay. Well, I have the Valley Girl soundtrack on vinyl. Thank you very much.
I have it on
European
acetone.
Import. No, you don't. You're totally lying.
I have it on reel to reel.
Jack Giacomo, it's picked up for me in England. Thank you very much.
Smitty is a huge Sparks fan.
So they're brothers, which I didn't really necessarily know. And they've been around since before the Beatles. During the Beatles,
no, it was
late 60s.
Yeah, late 60s.
And Paul McCartney actually spoofed one of the brothers Sparks, the one with the Hitler mustache, in his video Coming Up, where he played all these different roles.
Yeah, it's an orchestra full of Paul McCartney, but he's in different personas.
And one of them
is
the keyboard player from Sparks.
Yes.
Who wrote most of the music.
Okay, and it's not, oh gosh. You see, we should know this.
Yeah, we should do show prep, but it's not like we're getting paid millions of dollars and we were tired this week.
We're not?
We've also watched the documentary 3 weeks ago. It's really cool that we get to watch documentaries early because they let us, which is awesome. But then you kind of forget everything and we weren't really allowed to talk about it until now. But
Russ
I will say,
Russ is the singer.
Okay, I don't remember their names at all right this second. I bet Smitty does.
The Mayer brothers, right?
Smitty, if you can just give us the names of the brothers Sparks, that would be great.
Russ and who?
So this is all coinciding with the whole thing about these brothers is they wanted to make films first. They were film lovers kind of before they were musicians. And they're making a film that they wrote that's probably coming out within the year. So the fact that this documentary is being released now is actually a really great thing, and we think that they're going to make a lot of dreams come true for themselves.
Guys. We loved it.
We
and
were
I have a new appreciation.
completely blown away by this documentary. And you know, everybody from like Steve Jones and of course Jane Weedland, like there are all these different
people that get interviewed,
you know, famous people that have loved Sparks. There's also a great line about when they were on, I think they were on Top of the Pops, and John Lennon is watching on television, and he calls up George Harrison and says, "You're not going to believe this. Hitler's playing keyboard on Top of the Pops." And that's like the worst John Lennon impression ever. But it was
it's just, not Eustace.
I just loved that.
Is it Gene?
I think it's Gene.
Is it Gene?
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
Eugene.
I just love that they, you know,
now I got to look it up.
Peripherally have been part of our lives this whole time. And you kind of didn't realize it until you watch this documentary and realize, oh, I totally know these guys. These guys have been part of my life since MTV was born.
And how'd they get the name? It's like the Marx Brothers, the Sparks Brothers.
Yeah, it was the Sparks Brothers, and then they took the brothers off, and it's just Sparks. Lots of great tunes, 100,000 records. I mean, like so many records.
Yeah, they
have a huge catalog, and the album covers are amazing. Ron and Russ. There you go.
Ron and Russ Mail.
Thank you. That's why we have live commenting during the live stream, so that you guys are all our producers and help us fact check. So thank you very much. Run, Don't Walk to the Sparks documentary.
And what channel is it on?
I can't remember who it's being released on, or if it's you'll have to see it in the theater or pay for it like pay-per-view at this point. But I will have all those links and information ready for you by Friday, I promise. Sparks.
Really, guys,
Sparks.
if you don't know, now you know.
We were completely blown away.
Okay.
And taken aback.
And that's enough.
Okay. Let's move on. Because of Loki coming out on Wednesdays, which is kind of a weird day to come out on because we have to kind of cram it before the show.
You know, Loki, Thor's mischievous brother.
God of Mischief. Perhaps you've heard of him.
That would make him mischievous.
We rewatched Infinity War and Endgame, which, by the way, I called Xfinity War all weekend because
we wanted to fight the cable companies.
Xfinity. And I have to say, when we watched both of those movies, I was doing reviews, movie reviews for ZLX, and I think I was so busy taking notes and like trying to form my review in my head that I didn't pay attention to all the details. There's a lot going on in this movie.
There's a ton.
So the second viewing, or it might even be my third viewing at this point, so great.
More enjoyable.
And also knowing that Loki is sort of happening within all of that as well. Mm-hmm. I would, if you're looking for some stuff to maybe rewatch, I would highly recommend it if you're into the whole Marvel universe, for sure. Today's episode of Loki is great, where, you know, it's kind of like you get one little piece solved and then there's 16 more pieces. You don't know what's going on.
Yep. And Owen Wilson is great. Owen Wilson's great. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we spotted a new character today. Yeah. Don't want to say too much about it, except it's somebody from our beloved Utopia.
It's Jessica.
We love both versions of Utopia, the British version and the American version. And if you have not seen it, I urge you to do so. So War of the Worlds.
Where in the world?
Season two is fantastic. It's really on Epix. Gabriel Byrne.
Maybe you've heard of him.
He's kind of a big deal. There's a little something for everybody. It takes place in England, but there's a lot of French people. There's some in France.
There's some in the Alps.
And the aliens in War of the Worlds turn out to maybe not be so alien after all.
Pretty much humans.
It's very well done. I definitely go watch it and we can discuss.
Yeah.
Very much love it. We took a big hit for everybody yesterday. I wouldn't say we were bent over the coffee table necessarily, but we did decide to sign up for a 1-month subscription of Paramount Plus. Why, you ask? Well, I did kind of want to see the rest of the MTV New York City Real World reunion because I only got to watch the first episode. I think I just
sprained my eyes.
But no, that wasn't the reason. And yes, you can get 1 month free, so you can at least try it out. So we tried it out for you and watched the new Marky Mark Wahlberg movie. And yes, you have to say Marky Mark because it totally pisses him off.
Yeah. He's
terrible, you guys. He's just like the worst actor. And now he's not even fun to look at anymore. The face is not looking great.
He's still in good shape, but he looks like, you know, an angry guy from the neighborhood.
I mean, maybe if they put his face on his 6-pack abs, I might like to watch it more. I'll tell you this about the movie. First of all, we were joking earlier. There are more holes in this plot than holes in Swiss cheese. No? There are more holes in the Infinite plot than Shia LaBeouf? No? Nobody? I really thought that one was going to kill.
Yeah, but see, what you're doing, though, is you're saying that the holes are in Shia LaBeouf.
No, but Shia LaBeouf was in the movie Holes.
He dug the holes.
He was in the movie Holes.
It's got more holes than Shia LaBeouf dug in the movie Holes.
Now, see, now you're mansplaining the joke, and that's not okay.
Well, it wasn't funny either way.
It was a pretty decent idea of reincarnation and certain people actually remembering and having all their past consciousness downloaded. Okay. So and that's where that ends.
If you take Highlander and you take like Altered Carbon and what else? And maybe like, what's the other one? Underworld, maybe a little late. There's like it's like a combination of things.
Underworld.
Yeah, just, you know, groups.
There's not really enough of anything good.
And Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it.
Oh my God, how do you remember that dude's
name? And he's like he plays a fairly badass character.
Yeah, but even it's just kind of laughable. By the end of the movie, you're like, please God, let it end. So do yourself a favor. Don't watch Infinite. If you have to watch it, don't pay for it. It's just really not good. Really not good. You know, I would have begged for my money back, but it's a free month subscription and I already put the day I need to cancel it in my calendar so they don't start charging me. Because honestly, besides the Real World and the Real World Road Rules season 100, I didn't even know that was still a thing.
I'm gonna watch Star Trek Discovery.
I don't think there's enough right now to pay for the app, like as a subscription.
As a reason.
Yeah.
There's no.
I'm gonna tell you guys to pass. Smitty says, I knew a guy who grew up on the same block as the Wahlberg family. The entire family is not nice or cool. Well, one of my besties grew up across the street from the Wahlbergs, even practiced making out with Donnie in the backseat of her dad's car. I hear that some of them are not so bad, but the ones that are not so bad were not in that movie last night.
That's terrible. That sucks. That's so terrible.
Apple TV Plus. I know we talk about these shows a lot. Not everybody has it, but I'm telling you, if you're looking to invest in another platform, Apple TV Plus, The Morning Show season 2 is coming. The Morning Show starring Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, really light.
It's super heavy. Steve Carell in sort of the Matt Lauer role. And Reese Witherspoon. It is so impeccably well written and well acted. Go and sign up for it now and binge season 1 because season 2 is coming and you're not going to want to miss it. It's very good. Yes,
Aaron
Holly
Sorkin
Cantor
didn't write it, did he?
Yeah, I think he might have. I think that might be.
See that? I just pulled that out.
Yeah, you did. That's good. So that's kind of all we have for stuff to watch, I think. Was there anything else that we've really watched? Oh, I binged the show Flack on Prime, which is Anna Paquin. It's basically a very scandalous, almost kind of Sex in the City, but more nefarious. They run a PR firm and they just help. It's almost like Ray Donovan needs. I mean, they don't like have to go and kill people, but they come really close.
Speaking of Ray Donovan,
yes,
I watched the newest version of The Manchurian Candidate the other night.
Oh,
that reminds me.
Well,
the Denzel Washington.
Right, but what year is that from?
It's got to be from
it's
at
very
least
old.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's got to be at least 10 years
but
ago.
But Liev Schreiber is the
Liev Schreiber is the Raymond.
focal point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mike Joshua is here.
Hello, Michael.
By the way, Ethan, I meant to mention this earlier. Ethan is running the show for us right now, one of the executive producers of said show, and who's also a filmmaker and looking to get some of his projects into film festivals. Mike Joshua is a director and has had his films in many film festivals and won awards. So
talk amongst yourselves then.
Perhaps you
behind the scenes
can
or
hook up later and have a chat. I love being a grand facilitator. So if I can connect people together, I'm happy. Smitty. Mike, I'm pitching a Netflix series with Angie and handsome boyfriend Dave. If Mikey had that kind of signing power, we'd be at his house right now.
A short-lived series. Oh Lord. What else?
Grand what? I don't know. You said grand what?
Grand what?
Did I miss something?
Did I say something I wasn't supposed to say?
I don't know, but I probably missed it. Lots of stuff to get in music, so we're going to jump around a little bit. Let's talk about Will Daly's performance at Sam's Backyard Barbecue Saturday.
Yeah.
It's the first show we've seen, right? It's the first live music.
Listen, don't go getting emotional on me. I told you.
I'm not getting emotional, but it was so lovely. First of all, it's always lovely. It's always lovely to see Tiger
back to normal,
aka Will Daly. I mean, he is a ridiculously talented musician, songwriter, and also just an effing great guy in every way.
It's really too bad he's so down to earth and nice and likable, because it makes it hard to hate him.
Yeah, and my favorite moment, and I know I hate to say this sometimes because I think Will doesn't think that, well, I kind of gush when he does covers in a way I don't necessarily gush when he does originals. And I'm not sure what that is because I love his music, but man, he tore through Chris Cornell's Seasons.
Oh man.
And I was my heart was bursting out of my chest.
Awesome.
It was so beautiful. I recorded 99.9% of it, except like the last little bit. And I posted it. I will repost it after the show tonight. It is one of the greatest live music moments for me in the last 10 years. Just beautiful. And he is doing 100 shows from, I think he started a few weeks ago. That was show number 17 or 18. Wants to complete 100 shows by the end of December. And so he's doing all different kinds of stuff. He left Sam's party and went and played a gig in New Hampshire. You can message him on any of the social media platforms if you want to hire him for your party. I think
it's worth it.
It's totally worth it. Not only that, but then he's going to be playing at City Winery. They just announced that. Abby Barrett is opening.
Yes.
I'll definitely share that as well. And he's going to be playing the Ohana Music Festival, which is Eddie Vedder's thing. So he's going to be on the bill with Eddie Vedder and their pals. So like, no big deal. I see that the comments are going bananas. So Joshua was quoting us with that. So everybody says Will was fantastic. Go to Holly Cantor's Facebook page for an amazing Will Daly performance from Saturday. And you can go to my page as well for Seasons. So we'll double,
so good.
We'll tag team you. Holly and I will tag team you. Mike G, how off for the summer are you? We need to talk. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing. Mikey announced on X Night last week that he's taken a little break for the summer. And then we were kind of talking about, should we take a break for the summer? And part of me wants to take a break because leading up to 7:30 on a Wednesday night we're both dragging our behinds.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like, okay, so today, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm working at a hospital, guys. All right.
He's
Beth
working on top of a
Beth
hospital.
Israel Deaconess. It's a new building, I believe, and it's called the 12th floor, but it's probably like 24 stories up, really. Like it's really high.
You can see from all the good coloring he's got that
And
he's definitely exposed to the elements.
like we watch the med flights come in, and the med flights land lower than we are on the top of buildings.
Yeah, because you're really high
So
up.
anyhow, today the lifts were down.
Wait, did you have to walk up all those stairs to get there?
I had to walk down after the whole day was over. We put everything away, and then we were like, okay, it's time to go home now.
Okay, that's not really such a great story though. Walking downstairs is not the same as having to walk upstairs.
Walking down a 24-story building isn't good.
It's not great, but
then I had to walk to the bus stop. I had to take a bus to a train station where I took a train. And I transferred, and I went to another train, and I went all the way out to the end of the line. Then I walked to my car. I crawled to my car. I crawled up into this driver's seat,
well, it's just
and I drove here.
Yeah, it's like working out. Like you're getting a full workout.
Oh, is it like working out?
Less working.
I almost just made a really, really.
Listen, honey, the pounds are
horrible.
Literally like melting off of you in a way that they're not, and I got half of or 2/3 of my stomach removed. So there you go.
Oh, look at Smitty's already coming up with ideas.
Okay, so listen, we're not. If we were going to take some time off, we would probably take like the month of August off, I think, or maybe the month of July, because we have a lot of stuff going on. Carlin's going in the Army, Kendall's birthday. I don't know. We'll see. But there's a huge part of me doesn't want to stop doing the show regularly because I think we have some good momentum. I also understand that people are going to be busy on these Wednesday nights in the summer to go see shows and whatnot.
It's too nice out to stay in with you.
Right. I mean, listen, Nikki T has totally abandoned us at this point because her dance card is very full.
She's like, every man for himself, bitches.
Now that everything's opened back up. And I don't blame her, and I don't blame any of you, but I do also, even if it's just a few of you on and we do the show, then, you know, it gets thrown onto the cable access stations, and it lives out in the ether and perhaps entertains tens of other people. So as of right now, I don't want to go on any like huge extended break, but it is a good idea, and we are thinking about it. So we would like any and all of your input, of course. Speaking of music and all the shows, I do have to mention that Earful is back. Now, if you guys don't know what Earful is at the Mosesian,
we had a blast at Earful.
We have had so much fun at Earful. So Earful is the child of Jen Trinan and her partner in Earful, whose name I cannot recall at this moment. Somebody please tell me. And they do these sessions at the Mosesian in Watertown. And this year they're doing things a little differently. So it's an author and a musician, and the author comes and does a reading.
They do a reading. And
then the musician plays something usually kind of connected.
To give you an idea though, Tom Perrotta,
who's like one of Dave's
the
favorite
leftovers
authors.
Of Little Children, Election, The Leftovers, Mrs. Fletcher, Tom Perrotta read there, gee whiz.
Well, the night
Dennis Lehane read there.
Yep. Bill Janovitz performed.
Yep.
Tanya Donnelly performed. I think Trinan's performed, certainly.
And wasn't Kay there at some point?
Yeah, I think Kay performed as well.
Yeah.
So they're back. It's not at the Mosesian where it usually is. All shows for this season are going to be on the lawn behind the Commander's Mansion in Watertown, and there is parking available. They've announced 2 shows so far. tickets will be available. I want to say next week, but they have a website now, so it's all going to be a lot easier. So July 14th, the musicians are Giant Kings and Honeysuckle, and the authors are Tom Perrotta and Laura Zigmund. And then Zigmund, sorry, there's no D on the end. August 4th, tickets are coming soon. So July 14th, tickets already on sale. August 4th, it's going to be Tanya Donnelly, the Parkington sisters, and authors Lily King and Rishi Red. So definitely, I don't know what—
It's a cool night.
I don't know what the lawn at the mansion, at the commander's mansion, is like size-wise, but I know for the other Earful shows, you really wanted to get tickets ahead of time because they had like tables set up and you could order food, and all the sight lines were great.
Yeah.
But it was sort of a different vibe, but really groovy, something maybe out of your comfort zone a little bit. Also, it's nice, like if you do really like these authors, you can kind of get a chance to go talk to them because they're all just kind of milling around.
Listen, I seem to remember there was a little tete-a-tete with me and Dennis Lehane.
Right, because you thought Dennis was related to the other Lehane from the neighborhoods, right?
No, from the Carpenters. I asked him if he had some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you talk to Perrotta? You've talked to Perrotta before, though.
You know what? I might have mentioned to him that I really admire his work and stuff like that. Nothing crazy.
Dave fanboyed.
Listen, him and Janovitz are really good friends, right?
Yep.
But listening to Tom Perrotta read from his own work is pretty cool.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty cool.
And Dennis Lehane, too. I mean, the one thing I always loved about Dennis Lehane is he actually wrote about FNX in one of his books. And the line is about how he's driving, and he was driving out of the range of FNX because we had such a crappy signal. And I was like, he gets it. So anyway, I'm very excited about Earful. I will post links for all that. They have a new website. It's called earful.org. So go check it out. And of course, you know, we like to support our girl Jen Trine in every possible way. So we hope to see you at an Earful event this summer for sure. With all these new shows, I'm getting a little anxiety about the shows. Like, I just found out the Heartless Bastards are playing on a Wednesday night in September, and I'm like, no! And then I'm like,
maybe we have to take that.
Maybe I have to take the show off that night because I effing love the Heartless Bastards. They were a band that brought me back into music at a time where I wasn't having any of it. Like, I wasn't into any new artists. I was busy being a mom, and it was like I was in the witness protection program. I was living in, I think I was down in Redondo Beach at the time, and I don't know. And then this band just sort of crossed my path. I was doing Houndstooth Radio with Kurt St. Thomas, and there was suddenly this band called the Heartless Bastards, and I listened to that record, you know, front and back for like a week, and it revitalized my love of music. And there are those moments in your life where you're reminded, and that was one of those moments, and I will always hold them near and dear in my heart. But so the Heartless Bastards are coming to the Sinclair.
You're going to hold them near and dear to your heart.
To my heartless heart.
Yet they are heartless.
Yes. They're a wonderful band. You should definitely check them out. Smitty, I love you, but you can't text us during the show because it shows up on all our devices. And
it makes a dinging noise.
It's like a little distracting.
And I'm very distracted by it.
So speaking of being reminded about music and being reminded about music that you love and that makes you happy, I rewatched the Descendants / All documentary called Filmage, which is now available to watch, I believe, on Amazon Prime. If you've never seen it and you've ever rocked out to a Descendants or an All song, do yourself a favor. It's such a heartfelt documentary.
I can't believe Bill's story, though.
Bill Stevenson being alive is such a miracle. I can't even tell you, and not for the reasons you think. It wasn't like drug related or, you know, any kind of substance use disorder. It was just two crazy medical things that happened to him, and he almost died twice and survived. That band has been through so many different personnel, if you will, and incarnations. And of course, Milo kept leaving the Descendants. So then every time Milo would go back to his science life, because he's a doctor, and, you know, works with like physics and stuff. You know, it's crazy. Like the guys from Epitaph, the guys from Offspring, they all have PhDs. I love it. Like the punk rock and smart nerd thing really sort of hit its stride in the 90s.
Stands for in PhD?
Punk rock?
Punk, yes.
Yeah, sure, I'll take that. So anyway, if you haven't seen it yet, do yourself a favor. But also, I'm just reminded of how much I love that music, and how when Milo left and they started doing All, which was 3/4 of the Descendants, and Dave Smalley at the time from DYS and Dag Nasty, I was like all in. And for some reason, those songs resonated with me more than the Descendants.
They're a little poppier, like, and there's something
totally
about
poppier.
them. Yeah.
It was sort of the start of emo core for me, really. It was that emotional hardcore. It was talking about love lost and problems with girls and, you know, things that I could relate to, but it was still had that angry punk rock slant to it, but so poppy and just lovely. So
Smart.
I'm sort of going through a Descendants / All rabbit hole phase right now, and I want y'all to come with me. I think that's all we had in music. Anything else? Anything you're listening to right now?
Me?
Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah. I'm talking to you, boo.
Nah. I'm not really into music that
Are
much.
you? Yeah, but you're listening to stuff on the way to work, aren't you?
No.
That is not true. You will text me about something that ERS played, like for sure.
That was last year.
No, it wasn't last year.
Why you put me on the spot? I don't like music.
Because you did no show prep at all. Sing for them. Dance, monkey, dance. Take it away, Dave.
Robert Goulet.
Wow. That's very good.
Oh, yeah?
You know what we were reminded of rewatching the last Avengers movies was the Redbone tune.
Come and get your love.
Come and get your love. I know we've gushed over this song before in the fact that all of the members of the band were Native American.
Now, here's the thing. We found that out because of Rumble, that documentary.
That's right.
Which connected rock and roll to Native American music.
Mm-hmm. And if you get a chance, Google the video of Redbone performing that song live in full Native headdress, and they did a whole like powwow before.
And if
they
you
go
remember
into the song.
how it begins, like hey da da, hey da da, and they're like, it's very reminiscent of like chants and dances.
Oh God,
like,
it's fantastic.
And you don't even like I wouldn't have connected it.
No, but I just love that connection is there. And it's funny, we have Monday night dinner with my dad, and we were watching the end of Endgame, as it were. And there's that scene where they go back to grab one of the stones, which is the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy. And that song is playing, and, you know, Dad's singing along. And then Dave was like, wait, do you remember Native American Redbone? So that's why that came up. And even my dad, who was in the prime of his life when that song was, you know, probably at the top of the charts, did not realize that they were Native American.
Right.
So,
and also it's the name of a great barbecue restaurant that I love in Davis Square.
You know, we haven't been to Redbones in forever.
You know what? I got to go there just to get the roasted vegetables.
Oh, so good. And
guys,
the brisket?
The roasted vegetables. Okay, at this barbecue place.
Everybody knows about Redbones in Davis Square.
Stupid good.
Ridiculous. And you know, the potato salad. Speaking of potato salad, I haven't made potato salad in a long time. I'm not really eating a lot of starches right now. But I had to bring something to Sam's party. First of all, Sam is a ridiculous cook, as you guys all know. We've had him on the show.
Yeah, but he's really stingy about it. Like he makes like little things.
It's not true at all. The food at this party was insane, but I did love that I got to bring a little piece of my own cooking prowess. And there were 2 potato salads, and I'm not dissing whoever brought the other potato salad, which was bigger and more polished, looked fancy, looked great.
But Will Daly said,
I won the potato salad war.
The potato salad war.
Basically, I have perfected my Nana Louise's very simple and elegant potato salad recipe, which was really just potatoes, mayo, and pickle juice.
And some
oh, and of course hard-boiled eggs on top with loads of paprika. So
paprika.
I have changed it up a little. I add normally some whatchamacallit mustard.
Cocaine.
No, the mustard with a Dijon. I normally use Dijon, but I actually have like a mustard aioli from Trader Joe's. So it's that, it's mayo and pickle juice all together, and then I toss the potatoes in it.
Hey, if you were a chef, would we call you Dijon Angie C?
Dijon Angie C. I
Instead
like
of
that.
DJ Angie C?
Maybe I should do that now that I'm cooking more than I'm DJing. Dijon Angie C here. Anyway,
And the show's over. Good night, everyone. We gotta go work on this.
Let's talk about the pork, the shredded pork
Okay,
cooked
look.
in Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a smoked shoulder, really.
Yeah.
All right. It's a shoulder. All right.
Hey,
And,
Michael
and,
Maloney.
and you're not even like a big fan of ham
No.
in that
no,
form,
no.
guys. It
It was like candy.
delicious.
It was like candy. And I bet you that Sam already has a recipe up for it because that's the kind of guy he is.
Mhm.
So you should definitely check that out. But
Yeah, you
that
know what
wasn't all. There
You
was
know what I really didn't like though?
What did you
Was
like?
the mac and cheese.
Oh my God, the mac and cheese was amazing. First
it
of all,
was too like
I couldn't help myself. I
too
had to try some.
Velveeta-y,
Shut up.
and there was like
It had
too
a
much,
teeny bit
too
of
many
heat.
breadcrumbs.
It had a
baked
teeny
on
bit
top.
of heat in it, just enough for me because me and heat, I can't deal.
Listen, I
And
didn't
then-
like it that much. I could only eat like 3 plates of it.
And the Moroccan roll salad, the couscous
Okay, the
salad.
couscous. Okay,
Oh.
guys, there was couscous there. We admit it. Okay, we freely admit that we ate couscous.
So
And you know what? You would too if you knew what was like good for you.
So I actually had 2 forms of pasta, and I
Okay,
haven't had any
but
pasta in
wait.
like 6 months.
Pistachios,
Mm-hmm.
pepitas,
Mm-hmm.
cashews.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing something?
I don't know. You'll have to ask me.
Apricots or apricots?
Either or. I mean, he even had like asparagus wrapped in ham with like a goat cheese.
I
like,
skipped that.
and so then
That brought back memories of my mother.
so I had seen a dessert table and I'm like, oh, okay, looks good, looks good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I don't have to break my fast, is what I thought. I'm like,
I'm good.
I was like, I'm
I can
good.
leave
I
those
don't need to.
cookies there.
I don't need to cheat with the dessert. And then this guy walks into the backyard
Some dude.
with a cooler as wide as he is long, like a
Guys,
6-foot cooler.
The cooler would go from one side of a pickup truck to the other side of a pickup truck, like one of those toolboxes.
It was
He
enormous.
walked in with a cooler that big.
Enormous. And what was inside? Good night fatty cookies.
Guys,
Oh my
boxes
God.
and boxes and boxes of them.
Basically, everybody left with a cookie and like 2 in their belly at least. I mean,
Yeah, that's all I left with.
I had a little bit of everything. Obviously, my new tiny tummy, I couldn't go crazy, but
So I had to eat hers.
I kind of grazed all day and still lost half a pound the next morning.
I was afraid to go near the scale. I was like,
I worked out like a mofo the morning of though, like really, because I
I'm
knew that Sam's food was going to be too good to pass up.
and then Maddie Lambert brings the super duper ginger ale there. It's made in Kentucky, he says.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's selling that? No, I hold that against it.
The cookies,
But it was really good.
There was a key lime pie cookie.
With
There was what was the
a key lime
Key
cheesecake
Yeah.
center.
yeah, just ridiculous. Like
And
a
if anybody knows anything about
snickerdoodle
Good Night Fatties, guys, they're like this thick,
Yeah.
okay,
If-
this big around. They're in boxes of what, 4 cookies?
Yeah,
They
probably.
were
I mean, they're
like the
huge.
cookies are enormous.
Enormous, kid.
They're like miniature cakes and stuff.
So a few years ago, Goodnight Fatty was almost like a speakeasy. It was a secret.
Pop-up.
It changed locations. You had to sort of follow their Instagram to figure out where they were going to be, and they were only open on the weekends. I think they are they open. They're open every day now because they do Good Morning Chubbies as well, which are little like breakfast
things.
rolls. It's like a take on a meat pie in a way.
They have something against fat people?
But you can also like purchase things and they'll bring them out to your car for you, and they do delivery if you're up here on the North Shore. But definitely check them out. Jim Melanson says mac and cheese was angelic. It really was.
Don't do that with you. What did I do? What did I do?
Don't do that with your fingers, Dave. I'm not sure, but we'll watch it on the replay.
I don't know.
Oh, Kevin Tachi, so nice of you to drop by.
Wow.
Is the recipe for the spicy mac and cheese going to be posted? That's a question for Sam. Now, when we had Sam on the show, he talked about the fact that a lot of people don't want to reveal their recipes because it's, and that.
But he's not that kind of guy.
He considers that a little selfish, and we don't blame him.
Right.
So maybe we can get the mac and cheese recipe if we don't have it. I think the secret ingredient really is Velveeta. Also, the shells themselves were perfect. Everything was perfect about that. I didn't have any bad food at all. Did you? Like not even like everything.
No,
was
and I,
amazing.
listen, and I tested everything at least twice.
I cannot. That's the most I've had to eat in a day.
In a heap long time.
In probably
Heap big medicine, Kimosabe.
8 months, maybe even 10 months.
Yeah, I kind of was like, oh man, like, wait a minute, like, am I like doing bad things?
No,
like,
we're all right. We're allowed to have a day.
let me
where
tell
we
you
just have
something.
fun.
I was so overcome with happiness.
It was difficult when we first got there. You just wanted to hug people and comfortably long.
I got a little emotional.
Dave got a little more
little
emotional
bit.
than I did, and I'm usually the crier here.
I didn't cry. I mean, I have testicles. I didn't cry. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with crying and showing emotion, Dave. We've discussed this in therapy.
But what about crying and showing your testicles?
The other thing I love about, and I want more get-togethers, obviously, and they don't all have to be at Sam Avola's house, but that'd be great. Getting to spend time with Linda Joshua, who I don't normally get to spend time with other than watching her dance on X Night. Getting to spend time with Holly Cantor in real life, which we hadn't done a lot of outside of shows. Hanging with Manny Lambert. Getting to see Linnea and her amazing David Bowie shirt.
That was pretty cool.
And getting to talk to Mo Pope and the guys from Still Gold. And,
yeah, and talk rap, like
my
old school
God.
rap with them and stuff.
I was the rap director of my college radio station.
This is a real thing.
I'm very partial to the old school hip hop, and we had an amazing conversation. And these guys in Still Gold, first of all, we went back through the catalog because we hadn't listened to them in a while. After we talked to them, we were a little starstruck or whatever. And when I say we, I mean me. Donut Shop. Do yourself a favor and go listen to it. It came out a couple of years ago. Why this song wasn't the biggest jam of the summer in 2018, I will never know. They're so good, and they have a new record coming out. They have a new song, Mask, that's been out for a little while.
It's pretty badass.
Just definitely, if you haven't given Still Gold a chance, because maybe you're not like a typical hip hop or like a today's hip hop fan.
They're not your typical hip hop.
Not at all. They're very influenced by the Beastie Boys, Rage Against the Machine. Like there's a lot going on there. And they have a full live band. It's just we're gushing over Still Gold, and we're huge fanboys.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to point out that this is the second, I repeat, the second time that Angie has used the term gushing on this show.
I think I've used gush before that, but anyway.
Okay, not when you were talking about Will Daly.
Yeah, I gush. Oh, within this program tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You're a gusher. What can I say?
Do you remember when you said overly over like every day for a year?
No.
Sam Avola says, Dave, the time is going off again. Why?
Oh, the thing is we're hanging out in the kitchen.
As one does.
That's
as
for
an
reminding me.
Avola party.
Because I read it and I'm like, what do you mean? Sam was busy doing everything, right? Sam is like the MC.
Well, and so was
He's
Lisa, by the way. They were both working together.
Yeah,
like
but
a
Lisa was more
machine.
like, the lovely, like gracious hostess
That's true.
who would like float over here.
Yeah.
Float over there. Are you having enough of this?
I had a great time with Lisa in the kitchen.
Right.
We got to
but
catch up
Sammy's in the kitchen and he's got so much going on. And the kitchen timer goes off.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know what that's for. Like this, there was so much food going at the same time.
So many times.
He didn't know what it was for. right?
The
And
hardest
he's
thing
like,
in the world is to get food to be ready at
He
the
goes-
same time.
he goes, you know
Really.
what? 25 more minutes. They say, and then 25 minutes later, we're standing there and it goes off again.
Oh, the sausage and peppers. There
And
were
it
two
kept-
different kinds. We totally forgot about the
And
sausage
he had to
peppers.
like do the like one over and then the
Yeah, I mean, he
Listen.
could have had a second stove, like an entirely other stove, and he still
He
would have had
actually-
issues. So much food.
I mean, he put a lot of faith in the party goers because the way that he, you know, when you look at sausages, a lot of times you can't tell whether it's if you don't smell it, you know,
yeah, you don't know.
you
if it's
can't
a
tell which one's a sweet
spicy
Italian
and
and which one's
sweet.
spicy. So he goes, you know, they're both on this huge bed of lettuce and what is it, peppers and onions. Okay, but the hot sausages have red peppers in there too. So
Okay.
you could look at it and it's color coded, like, oh, there are red peppers in this one. That's the hot.
Well, the other thing about the hot, if you didn't know, that it made the peppers and onions hot as well, because Julie Kramer had,
Yeah,
Like a
that
yellow
was
pepper.
hilarious.
and she took a bite.
Oh
and
my
like,
God. Like
It's
she was
so
like,
hot, like her
she-
flames coming out
yeah,
of her mouth.
yeah.
I hate when that happens.
You know, it would have been good if she could have eaten some of her fruit salad, but I had eaten it all.
Julie's fruit salad was gorgeous and delicious.
And
and-
I ate it all.
Another testament to a great party is the fact that Dave and I barely saw each other for hours.
And it was so good.
We were just off having these great
Oh,
conversations and gallivanting around. And
So
I feel like
great.
a lot of people that came together did that,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just such a beautiful backyard and beautiful
Yeah.
garden.
I think
and,
I think I hugged Jim Melanson about 74 times.
Yeah.
Was it about 74
I
times?
think Jim just held you and rocked you
Like
like
cradled
a
me
baby
like a baby.
at one point. We were just so happy to be sort of not over, I don't want to say over the pandemic, things are still
No, but
happening.
feeling like there
but
was a light at the end of the tunnel was
Feeling
pretty
that
cool.
sense of normalcy and being able to hug people without going, oh, can I? Because everybody at the party was vaccinated, so
Yeah.
we already knew that going in.
Yeah.
And you know, hugs and leaving with cookies and food, they make you leave with extra food. Whether, you know, Dave's like, I've already made a plate, it's in the fridge. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Well, I was afraid, guys. Look, it was like a horde of locusts in the kitchen at one point. Like,
So I go to get that.
it looked like the day the
Yeah.
earth stood still, you
and
know?
I'm like, okay, I'll
with the
take a little of this.
nanobots.
Okay, I'll take a little of this. Then I'm like packing up my
Yeah,
bag.
twist
ready to
my
go.
arm.
Lisa comes running out. Take these too. And you know, we brought home like banana bread and good. The kids were excited about the cookies, definitely. Oh, I even got away with one of Linda Josh's whoopie pies. I don't know how I did it.
Okay, listen, I had
But
a bite
got
of that.
stuffed in the
I
bag.
had a bite of one of those. Fantastic.
Not overly sweet, kind of perfect. You know what
And
I
a
mean?
little sweaty. Did you notice that?
Well, it was probably because they were hanging
Fresh.
out for a long
Fresh.
time and they were fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody pitched in. Sam and Lisa, of course, did the bulk of the work, and we can't thank you enough for inviting us and having us. And we definitely want to hang out with all of you guys. And I know not everybody knows Sam or was
Crazy
invited,
Eddie.
but we really, Crazy Eddie. Oh God,
such
how
a
much do we love
sweetheart.
Eddie?
And I think that was the first time I talked to Ann, his wife.
I had never even met the woman.
Okay.
And
so
these
Linda
two went into this whole thing, and Linda Bean. Oh
Linda
my God.
Bean and Ann, they live next door to each other, apparently.
And
right?
our BFFs.
They're BFFs, right? And
Hey,
they
Maddie
play-
Lambert, were your ears ringing? We've just been gushing about you too. And the ginger ale that you brought to the party.
what was it,
on
old
Saturday.
97 or something like that? What was it, Maddie? What's the name of that the ginger ale? Anyway, I digress. They played the name game.
Yeah, apparently
And it was
Eddie's
like-
wife pulls out this 70s TV show name game, and you just have to go through with the corresponding alphabet
It
number.
pretty much, it has to be like sitcoms. It can't just be anything.
Okay, so it's 70s sitcoms, and you start with A. Who's A?
But it was just so ridiculous.
Just give us a few.
How about this? This was one of the answers. Alice from the Brady Bunch.
Was for A?
Yes.
Oh, that's okay. What was B?
I don't know. Ann B. Davis, who played Alice on the Brady Bunch.
So you could get a little.
I
fast
could kind of,
and loose.
I kind of was like, oh, what do you think you're dealing with?
Oh, wait, didn't you do D as in D from What's Happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, it was just like, it was not, there wasn't a lot of heavy lifting there, a lot of thinking.
It was just, at one point I looked over and he and Linda Bean and Crazy Eddie's wife were in this huge like huddle and just roaring with laughter. I was like, what is going on over here?
I felt like I was gonna get hazed or something. They're like, you know, now we're gonna like, we're gonna like haze you. We're gonna jump you into the gang.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Not only that, but and not knowing Ann, but knowing Linda Bean, I knew that there was going to be a deeper level there. They've made up their own sayings and words. You know,
oh,
like, there's a whole like they have their own language.
Crab Hatch. Crab Hatch made the show.
I have no idea what that is, but he said it's not Crab Patch.
It's Crab
Hatch.
Hatch.
Crab Hatch. And he's trying to explain it to me when I'm
and
like,
they were trying to explain it to me too. And I didn't get it.
Anyway, needless to say, we had a good time, and we really do need to have an event where we can do it's sort of a live version of the Worst Talk Show where we can see all of you guys in person.
Like a studio audience, and we can walk around with a microphone and be like, hey.
No, just low key, and we'll have somebody play. We got to figure it out. We can't do it at our house because our house is tiny. But I guess we could maybe do it at another location.
We could do it somewhere else because all my stuff is here and I don't want these people touching this stuff.
I think we do have to do a meetup, like in real life meetup with everybody that's involved with the Worst Talk Show, whether you're a viewer, a regular contributor, a host, or perhaps a producer. We definitely need to all get together before September, I would say. So we can all see each other, give hugs, and just see everybody in person.
September.
I'm telling you, it was just so great to be able to see the people that have been supporting the show from day one in person and spend some quality time with them when I'm not yelling recommendations.
Yep.
To them. Do you have a community TV station near you? We do. We have one in Salem. I hear tell there's one in Marblehead, but I know nothing about it. But SCTV, I think the Salem cable television does have a studio.
SCTV?
So yeah.
Second City Television?
No. So maybe we can figure something out there. Who knows? Or in their parking lot or something, because they're right down near Flatbread. What?
They're not going to want us in their parking lot.
I don't know. Kevin Tachi might be able to pull some strings. Listen, we'll figure it out.
Tachi,
or
man,
maybe we could do it at Nikki T's house
in
the
wait a
backyard.
minute.
She's throwing shows there anyway.
Uh-oh.
I'm hatching a plan, you guys. I'll get back to you. And that's it. It's 8:27. We're pretty much rounding up the show here.
I mean, most of that was just.
Thank you for
fluff.
all your contributions. I mean, you really brought so much content to the show tonight.
I kind of did. You know what?
I'm just kidding. We love you guys, and we love that you hit the Venmo tip jar up while we're in the show. Thank you. That's the best ever.
Hey, why am I being persecuted?
I'm just kidding because you're cute. I like to tease you. Thanks, you guys. We love you. We'll see you next week. But let's talk about that get together. I'm going to hit up Nikki T and see what she says. Let's do this. And again, Sam, what a time. Thank you so much. I'm going to repost or reshare the Will Daly covering Chris Cornell thing as soon as we get off so you guys can see it on our show because it's definitely worth the watch. We love you guys. Good night. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye, everybody.